Hi, I'm Adam Rossen from the Rossen Law Firm. We're criminal and white-collar defense attorneys in the state of Florida. In our firm, we believe that bad things happen to good people, and we're here to help them achieve their best future. In today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about a case result that we had. It was a shoplifting, felony, grand theft case result from a few years ago. And it was a great case result. Our client was very happy. So our client's name was Drew, and Drew worked for a store. He worked for Ross, the department store Ross. And Drew was in loss prevention. So he was actually one of the loss prevention officers whose job was to make sure that people didn't steal from the company. And so Drew worked there along with, a friend of his. They were two of about the 4 or 5 loss prevention officers at Ross. And Drew was also a soccer coach. And so Drew was a soccer coach, and what he did, and he made a very big mistake, but basically, long story short, him and his friend, who was also the loss prevention officer, they changed tags on soccer cleats that were being sold at Ross because a lot of his players were from the inner city. They were, kids that were great kids, worked really hard, loved soccer, but they just did not have all the financial means, and neither did their parents. And Drew was this great, loving coach, and he made a series of serious mistakes in order, to basically commit a crime, to go ahead and, in a way, be a modern day Robinhood. He changed the tags and basically got the shoes or the cleats to his kids, and his kids could use it for the season, for the off season, for travel soccer, for club soccer, for all of those events. So his intentions were good, but of course he made a pretty stupid mistake and broke the law, and he went about it the wrong way. And so what happened is Ross did an internal investigation, and they figured it out. They found it out, and he got caught. He got arrested, and actually this made the news because he's a very well-known soccer coach in South Florida, and so it was terrible. He had tons of remorse. He was worried about his reputation in the community, worried about his future, his freedom. He had never been arrested before, and just again made some series of stupid mistakes. And he was worried about the kiss of death for his career, right? So luckily, I've known Drew for quite some time. I actually knew him before this happened, and Drew came and he hired me and our firm to represent him. And we worked really aggressively, and this case happened in Broward County, and Broward County has a PTI, pretrial intervention program for first-time offenders, and usually theft cases are admitted into the program, and it's not, a big deal. The problem with this one is because it was employee theft, because it was they considered a scheme, since it wasn't a one-time situation. It wasn't a, just like kind of lack of control or impulse control issue. This was planned and schemed, and we're not talking the crime of the century, though. This wasn't $100,000 of restitution. It was a few $1,000s. It was 10, 20 pairs of cleats, right? But they said no. They wouldn't let him into the program. So what we did is we started attacking, fighting, and defending the case. And we started taking depositions, and we started really working on the case, and we started handling it that way. But at the same time, we started working on just mitigation. We wanted to explain who Drew really was and all the good that he's done in the community for years, and dedicating his life to bettering children, teens, and young teens and older teens as well. So we're working on both of those together. And the more we're pressing, the more we're working on the investigation. Well, a lot of his, the superiors that kind of did the internal investigation, some of them moved away, some of them got promoted, some of them just disappeared, and their case was kind of starting to unravel and fall apart. And I had a few meetings with the prosecutor's supervisors, and we came with this mitigation, showing who Drew really was, and that, yes, he made a series of poor choices, but it wasn't for his own financial gain. It was to help inner city children that he deeply cared for. He didn't profit from this. He didn't use this in any way for himself. It was really just to help people, others. And that, along with the fact that their case was starting to just, kind of, I don't want to say completely fall apart, because it wasn't, but it was getting worse for them. I basically, we kept going, we kept fighting. I said, look, he's still the perfect candidate for diversion. The fact that his situation was more of a scheme, as you want to call it, is not really a scheme. It was just a series of poor choices. And we pushed really hard. I pushed really hard. And eventually they finally relented and let him in the program. So it was fantastic. He paid back the restitution. He spent 12 months of just, report. It was kind of like probation, but it's not really probation. But making sure just that, he didn't get in trouble. And he had never been in trouble before. He was about 40 years old. So there wasn't ever going to be issues with him getting in trouble. He completed the program. The charges were dismissed. We actually expunged his record, and Drew is very happy. He's able to achieve his best future, and he's doing very well now. He's continuing on as a soccer coach, and he's furthering his career in other aspects as well. He's very happy, and we were very happy. I was so happy that we could really help him through this, and it was a great case result that we had. So I just wanted to tell you folks all about it. Now, if you like these videos, if you like the information that we have, definitely make sure to follow our channel. You can like, comment, subscribe. We love hearing the comments. You can give us a call anytime if you want to talk about criminal law, or if you have a case as well. Our phone number is 754-206-6200, and we're just here to give as much information as we can to everybody.